Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I've got my pupil Awais with me. Say hello.
Hello.
We're basically looking at some general driving. We're looking at the different speed limits on different types of roads. We're trying to do a little bit of a test route, and we're going to be doing one maneuver in it. And we're at the prompt level. We're just getting Awais back in. He's had a couple of weeks off, so we'll be doing a prompt and a seldom prompt. Okay, so when you feel it's safe, we're going to drive off from here. We're going to be turning right. It is a little bit busy here at the moment. Yeah. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using 20 zone roads, 30 roads, and also a little bit of dual carriageway. Just check your both sides here, and if you signal there, let him know. Just mind that pedestrian. You got another car. That's a good creep there with the buying point. It is quite busy. We'll let them clear off a little bit first. Put my window. If you turn earlier, he is pulling off, that guy, so watch out for him. Hold on a second. This one here. And a double check there. That's it. If you keep to the, see if he holds back. If he holds back, you can get around it. Yeah, you can signal and go around. Signal up. That's it. That lets him know that you're committed and you're trying to get around and he's holding back first. Thank you. Okay, end of the road, we're going to be turning right. So remember, we're using the MSPSL routing, so it's mirrors signal. Positioning is good there at the center. And remember that you've got the curb there, the chicane. So you'll be turning a little bit earlier. Yes, okay.
Let's go.
Coming here. Good, well done with that turn. So you see how that is early. That's it. So this is why it's better to take more time on that junction if you think somebody's coming, rather let them go first. Okay, now if you can pull up for me in a safe and convenient place on the left. Now they give you regular stops like this in the test, at least 2 or 3. Just somewhere along there. Important point, not to get too close, not to be too wide. That's it, we stop there, secure it, cancel the signal. Always good to get neutral and signal, and it's always you're okay to be about 2 to 4 inches away from the curb. They're going to give you at least 2 or 3 stops like this. Main points are when you're pulling away, your blind spot checks, etc. Okay, drive on when you think it's safe. Good, well done with the blind spot check there. End of the road, we're going to be turning left. And remember, that's a awkward turn, that one, yeah? It's all about the angling of the car then. Looks like it's a better weather today. Yeah. You can never really say so. Remember, keep up with your mirrors, signaling kind of thing. That's it. Now it's awkward, so you've come a little bit wide, so what you can do to prevent going wide is to turn more. That's it, and then just edge and check. Can you see how that recovers it?
Yeah.
It doesn't let you go on the wrong side of the road. Just take your time through the narrow gaps. Go as slow as possible, looking both sides there, it's good. When you get any narrow gaps, it's important to stay off the gas. In case they don't get it right as well, you see she held back there. On the mobile phone, that one, quite dangerous. So meeting areas and around, particularly around the test centre, the first few junctions and streets, they're quite narrow. It's quite difficult. But around these areas, the gate tool is good. Always. We're going to go up to the top and turn right at the top. So they don't mind too around here, you know, they know it's all uphills, downhills, meeting points. Now at the top of the road we're turning right. Make sure you're getting in your mirrors. That is a very important thing. It's the first thing they look at when you're turning left or right, is the MSM routine. and then this one is the MSPSL routing. So first we got the mirror signal, we've got the position, we've got the speed equals gear change, and we're looking now, doing our observation. That's good clutch control. Check this side as well. Extra gas for the hill start, keep the bike steady. That's good. Okay, brake. You see there, before dropping the clutch, you could go on the brake earlier.
And you get used to that.
Yeah, and then it'll stop you from that inching back a little bit, because the extreme hill this one, isn't it?
Same for the I used to go in.
Yeah, no problem. When you think something's okay, you know, you can tag with that. But if you're getting it ready too early, then the clutch wears out. In that case, you'll be burning the clutch. So it's no point, they don't want you to hold it on the clutch control. They just look for, do you know how to do clutch control on approach?
Yeah.
And then if you're waiting more than 3 seconds, 5 seconds, you know, it's busy, you don't have to be doing it. Okay, now we're going to be taking the third road on the left. That's the first one. Yeah, it's park drive. It is a bit of a tight turn, that one. So it's the one after this one. This is a bit of an early morning test road that they have. That's good bit of signal there. So take it as slow as possible for this turn. The key is to keep on our side of the road, so you keep the brake and sharp turn. And if you feel, you know, there's a lot going on there, you can even go back to A1. Sometimes you have cars there trying to turn right. So you want to hold the wheel like this, like that, these two positions. That's it. For the test, that's important. Yeah. Okay. Or you can have the 10 to 2, but I prefer that one myself. Yeah. Okay, take the next road on the left. It's a bit of a hill, so you pick the speed up as you're going along here. And we're going to be taking the first street on your right. Important to check your mirrors as soon as you come into a new road as well, just in case we have to pull over, something is behind or something's overtaking us. First left here. Important thing for this turn now is you're going to need a 1. So yeah, okay, see how it is uphill and everything. So your car runs out of power there, it struggles in second gear. Now I'm going to ask you to pull up on the right hand side maneuver. If you can safely go along there and pull up on the right, make an effort to check over the road first. You're on the brow of a hill there, and we're just going to go along there. So this brow of the hill is a bit of a risky one, so you've got to be making sure that you can just have a look over before you don't try to go onto the wrong side of the road too early. Kind of use it as a right turn, and you can see more like that. Okay, so reverse back 2 car lengths when you can. Good, that's a good check. Remember, break it off into 3 sections. So you stop, take a break, and check again. Excellent. And then continue. And that's what they want in the test. And stop, and check. Keep the wheel a little bit straighter so it doesn't go to the curb. You can always check it there, see how it's going back. Remember, important not to touch the curb, or important not to even go out into the road. And that will do. That's fine. Okay, and we're driving off now. Do you know the important part to check now?
Blind spot.
Go to the left blind spot. Excellent, and that's what's different here, yeah? So when you think it's safe, perfect, very good. End of the street, we're going to be turning left. So this is what a test B is like. They'll take you on a route, they'll stop you a couple of times, and then they'll ask you to do one maneuver. That is the TomTom part. I'm going to be using signs today instead of the TomTom for independent part, okay? 1 in every 5 tests can get signs, and the other 4 usually get the TomTom, so we can do a TomTom route on the next lesson. It just puts you into that idea of how a test might be. When you get something like that, if you slow a bit earlier, you can position it, and then still not going through, you go through as it develops, as the space develops, but that way you're not stuck behind them too much. And some of them indicate very delay. So when you get to the traffic lights, we're going to be turning left. 6 to 8 car lengths is good. If you miss it the odd time, it's just a minor fault if it doesn't affect anybody. But the more you keep up with it, the better it is for you.
I can get a 2 on this hill, can't I? Or should I leave it?
We don't recommend it. It's better to start off in one. Yeah, sometimes what happens is if you roll off in second gear, you might go too quick or you might lift the clutch. You will still stall.
That's right.
So if you've stopped completely, safe and bit is to go in the second gear, really. Yeah, first gear, sorry. First gear is the best one. Because you're quite close to the turn here as well. If we were further back, maybe. But, you know.
What's that doing?
Okay, she's stopped now. Just be careful there. She's a bit confused, isn't she? So if you slowly lift the clutch up, you would have been better off bringing the clutch up there as you went down.
Yeah.
It would have slowed it down. That way it jerks if you lift the clutch quickly. But you've managed it. It's fine. The bike point, you have to let go a little bit tamer from the bike point.
From second gear.
Yeah. First, second gear are the very sort of like low limits. They're more responsive. So if you let go of the clutch a little bit too quick, you will get that job.
Yeah.
So the idea is to just inch it up slowly, gradually, and with that movement, you'll be able to smoothen it up. It takes time to learn that one, you know, as you get better experience. Sometimes you'll get it right, sometimes you won't. Pedestrian crossing, nobody there. Always important to think about the light you're coming up to. What kind of light is it? Because often pedestrian crossings, people will be stood next to the pole and you can't really see them from a distance, and they have the button pressed. They can't change. Okay, so check your speed. When you're on a long road, important, it's good to make progress where it's safe, but also keep within the speed limit. And make sure you're reading the signs as you're going along. Can you see any signs coming up? Bus lane. You know how the bus lanes work?
Yeah, it's not active right now.
It's not active as today, Sunday anyway, but it's always the times and the days shown.
You can't use it.
You can't use it for them couple of hours. So here we're moving in, a direction check mirror would be good. And I'll say, and that just shows that you're being safe. We already got the position. So if you already have the position as well, that helps as well. Keeps the other drivers under control a little bit. Now, important thing, you're coming up to a green light, what might happen there? It might change. So coming at a steady pace is good. Not too slow and not too quick. Once you're less than 5 yards at the lights, then it's too late for us to stop. You have to stop that one. Okay. It's alright, it's okay. Decided too early there slightly, okay? Just less than 5 yards you can pick the speed up.
Yeah.
10 yards I would say just come a bit steady.
Yeah.
A little bit steady. Alright, we stopped just in time. So it's okay. They change it quick, you see. They change
Sure,
it
that's how I can get through that.
No, we're too far back. This is why I was saying 5 yards to you. We were still about 12-15 yards away from it. So up to 10 yards you're coming steady.
Yeah.
As soon as you drop below 5 yards, remember the light earlier you did?
Yeah.
Before the video. That was perfect.
Yeah.
So you will get caught out if you decide too early. That's okay as a learning curve. And then next lights we're going to be turning right.
So you want to line there?
Yeah, please. So have a look at what other roads there might be before that. That's it. So you're always signaling just after that. That's fine. No, further, because you're turning right, so 2 cars are allowed in the junction, first gear, and that's it. If you're the first car or the second car, it's a nice big junction, 2 cars are allowed to be in the junction to turn right. If you hold back, then that would be the correct position there for green light. Again, checking the mirror, take your time. So we've done one maneuver,
Yeah.
but they could be picking, depending on them, they could be picking other maneuvers. You know, they pick 1 out of the 4. We chose pulling up on the right today. So if you keep going along, we're just going to do this bit of a test route. And if you take the next road on the right, please. Remember, any awkward turns, go back to 1, so that you're not cutting the corner. A little bit more brake would have been good there. see how it squares the turn.
Yeah.
Try and stick to the push and pull as well. If you do second gear, you might cut the corner.
Yeah.
If you feel you're going to do that, going back towards the corner. Now, you've been down here with me before. I want you to read the signs here. It's very important. At the beginning of the test, they would have asked you to turn left or right, or if they stay quiet, you're following the road ahead at all times.
Yeah.
Unless signs tell you otherwise. Tell me what sign you see down there. Okay, so here they wouldn't give you a direction.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Well, you can't go down there, so you're going to turn left.
Left, okay, excellent. So we're going left, and can you see what kind of street it is?
Yeah, it's a
You see the sign there?
Yeah.
What kind of street do you think it is?
One way.
One way, excellent. Okay, so if you turn left here. Now, at the end of the one-way street, I'd like you to turn right.
Okay.
Do you know where you would place the car for turning right?
Towards this way.
Completely on the other side there.
Yeah.
So we're turning, that's the main difference. So if you position to the right, in the corner there, on the right,
This is the right.
yeah, completely on the right, and signal right. If you position in the center, or like we do for traditional right turn,
Yeah.
somebody will come and park next to you.
Okay.
You both can't make the turn if that's a two-way road. So if you're ever in this situation, make sure you place the car on this side, because no car can enter there.
This way.
Okay, so we're gonna edge forward a little bit. You edge forward a little bit, lift and dip the clutch, check. That's it. And keep looking. Is it good? You happy with going?
Yeah.
You checking? Good. So important to look both ways. Remember, these posts can blind. They have blind spots also as well. And then we got a 20 zone coming up. You see the pedestrian there go slower. Buy lots of time if you got a hazard by slowing the vehicles, because they're going to be slower. The car will catch up to them. We're just following the road. Keep the speed steady. When you get to the main traffic light junction, we're going to be turning right.
Okay.
So this is an early morning route. It's a short, small route. Early mornings here. You see the keep left bollard?
Yeah.
Here. And we're turning right, please. And keep in your lane. So can you see it's awkward, isn't it? So the slower you come, the better. Re-signal there. On this particular one, you have to turn, so it knocks the signal off. If that happens, then as you're going again, just as soon as you can, just re-signal. Now, if you're turning right and you've got more than one lane on that road, which lane would you keep in, you know?
The left.
The left, so your normal driving position. So when you're doing this right turn, if you take the turn wider, it will end up in that left lane.
Okay.
This is important because often drivers end up in the middle, the driver behind tries to go in through from the left. And you see the sign there, what it says?
Second
Signals.
signal.
This is important because, have you noticed there's 3 lights there?
Yeah.
You've got a repeater light in the middle, so a lot of people think that's a repeater light. But in this case, it's actually a junction, and how you would know that it has a stop line at the bottom. If you go a little bit steady, it'll allow them to change. And you see this was the second signal here. You see the line at the bottom there?
Yeah.
It's a bit faded though. So keep up with the speed mirror check as well. So we're going to be staying in this lane now. Yeah, the sunshine's disappearing now. We got all 4 seasons in one day.
Probably was last night, so
Yeah. We'll go sledging then
excellent.
instead. What do you think? So if you keep it to the left, and we're going to follow this lane, filters you to the left. Now it's a long lane and we're in the correct lane, so here you wouldn't really need a signal.
Okay.
But that is not in a lot of the cases when you're turning left and right, the lanes will be marked at lights. People always ask me, should we signal? Yes, you do have to. This is a slightly different situation. It's a long lane that filters you into it, and you're already in the correct lane.
Just an awkward turn.
Yeah. And you see, so far we've had like a 30 and a 20 zone. Any idea what the speed limit here is?
It's
Okay. So a lot of the times the main roads are 30 if there's no signs. Make sure you're reading the signs and the gradient. Have a look at what kind of road you're on. Easy to pick up the speed here, and you see something up ahead? The camera. And it's downhill slope, so you can easily be picking the speed up. So rather than staying in the 2, you'd go up to a 3 there, and we're travelling along cruising nice and easy. remember the low gears are quite aggressive gears. If you're on the gas, it'll pick the speed up too much. Pedestrian crossing, anybody there? So, and this is how a driver would be thinking as he's approaching things. So you're kind of semi-ready if you're thinking about. Often when you're driving and you're not thinking about it, which can happen, you might miss a pedestrian way in there, for example. Again, you got another one there. And we'll be passing through a fire station line there as well. We're going to be continuing ahead. So remember I was saying we're going to drive on various speed limit roads.
Yeah. That's 40 minutes coming up.
So 40 roads coming up, excellent. And again, they're not targets, it's all about making progress. If it's safe to do so, you can go up to that speed limit, and that decision would be based on what you see in the road, what kind of hazards there might be there. So it's looking good and we can make some progress. We're looking at more warning signs there. So all warning signs are in triangles. It's letting you know there's a crossing, there's a staggered junction there as well. Somebody might be pulling out. So keeping that into account, you would be making progress, but at the same time you would be holding back off the target speed limit. Can you see how that pedestrian crossing is there? And then now this stretch looks good, so you can make progress. And you can move up a gear here. Excellent. And check your mirrors off. So remember, keep up with the mirror check for speed check, mirror check. Yeah, when you're braking or making the speed up. We're going to be continuing ahead on the lights. Remember again, you got to be thinking it might change again. Now, if we're about at this point, we wouldn't stop to change again. So, and you see that one had changed and this one just about changed, so it's good that you just slow down there a little bit, giving them a chance to move. Often a lot of the lights have extra lanes. What happens to them as you're going along?
Say that again.
So the lanes, there are always extra lanes at the lights. What happens to them as you're driving along?
The merging.
Yeah, okay. So 3. So you would be checking there where you got confused with the gear.
Yeah.
If you're confused with the gear, remember it tells you what gear you're in there. That's it. Four is not a brilliant gear though. The car does struggle a little bit in the 4th gear sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, when your speed drops, this is where you would be coming back to a 3 as soon as you can. Yeah, and fall back a little bit for that car. Try not to get your clutch down as quick as that. Do you see it doesn't slow it down? So you're better off brake. As you go under the bridge, we're going to be taking the next road on the right. Now there's a box before that box isn't for us, it's the second box, but you can do your routine now. There's no other road. And if you see the second box, so if you approach there, brake a little bit. And stop here first. Now we wouldn't have stopped if you approached in a 2.
Yeah.
A 2 is a better gear, you'd have been 1.
Yeah.
But because we had to brake in 3, it won't pull through again. So as you're getting a direction, you could be doing mirror signal, position, then you'll be doing your gear change, second gear, standby gear, and just like how you approach roundabouts, for example, and you'll be making your turn. But if you miss it and you have to stop, it's better to do it like this then, just to regain control, is the main thing. And bring the wheel back rather than letting go of it. In a test that would be a fault, easy.
Driving fault.
Yeah. Okay, now I want you to pull up for me in a safe and convenient place on the left. Just be careful that he doesn't pull off, so a little bit further is good. That was good, he was checking his blind spot as well. Long here will be fine.
Alright.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's one then there, look. The right
Was
one
that
there. Yeah, it was that model. With that one there.
Cars.
So that's an older one, that's a newer one. Can you see the difference? Yeah, they're very good, very reliable. Okay, we're going to drive on when you think it's safe. So you will get regular control stops like this. End of the road, turn left please.
It's the same one.
Yeah. If you think you're close to the junction, then you can stay in that gear. always important to check left there because your traffic might be building up also. And then we're gonna just continue right now. I left the independent part out on this one,
Okay.
where I was gonna ask you to follow some signs. I might do that on the next lesson.
Okay.
And then we'll probably add some top topic as well, because the independent part is important as well. I want to bring that in, but I thought this is the first time we're doing this sort of test route. Give you a sort of an idea how this section is. They would ask you to follow a sign, say follow Keithley and Skipton there. You see?
Yeah, Keithley on the right.
And it's on the right, so it'd be like that. Independent. In the independent level, they're looking at are you using your MSN routine. If somebody doesn't say it right, for example. So if you can follow Keithley and Skipton, you can do a couple of times and pull it back. And they'd be interested in the routine now if you're doing the routine or not.
Fast.
Yeah, bit of signals, you're missing it. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So this is how they catch you out on the independent level. They know that they're not prompting you to take a direction and you're following a sign or you're following a top and you probably might not do the mirror signal or the routine. So this is an important point, okay, in the independent section, lasts for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, we're turning left on the lights, please. Because when somebody gives you a direction, it's like a prompt. But when you're on the independent level, it's slightly quieter, you look to the sign yourself. A little bit slower there. A little bit slower with the brake. That's it. And then we're going to keep going. Want to work on your clutch. You know, like there, you would brake, you would have brought the clutch up. You know, and more control. And it has its own engine braking. You would have been off the gas. You would make that turn that a little bit easier for you to steer as well. When the clutch goes down, it's just going forcing into the turn too quick. There are some minor turns where it's very awkward, cars are parked, you can't have the clutch down, you have to almost be stopping to turning. That one's traffic light junctions, usually nothing parked immediately within 10 meters of the junction, Top traffic lights, main lights, we're going to be turning right. So we're on route back toward the test center. Hazard there, tell me, can you see it? Okay, pedestrian. Remember, if you're moving out, always check your door mirror a little bit, just in case somebody behind decides to overtake us. Please turn right at the lights. Excellent, good with the signal there. Go slower, time yourself with the car that's coming there, allow it to get through. They have priority. You're crossing the path of traffic there. I'm bringing the wheel back this time. Good. So stick to the push and pull. So rather than having the hand there. So you got a little bit of freestyle there, slightly on the wheel. Which is not good for the test, you know. And with the cars, some cars don't bring the wheel back sometimes. So it's just a bit more assurance feeding the wheel back. And the push and pull will help you not to oversteer or understeer on turns, which is important because you can add and minus the turn. And like I said, in this area, gate was okay. There are a lot of the speed humps everywhere. Traffic calming measures area. That's good. Going as slow as possible is good. Lets you work out in between the cars and stuff. So, okay, please take the next road on the left. Much better. You see it drives itself at 10 as well, second here. And if you're off the gas and the brake. Okay, now as you pass these cars, I'd like you to pull up on the left so my safe, please. Anywhere along there, try not to block the gate though. Here it'd be fine. A little bit to you. Good, that's perfect. It's a good stop. Okay, and drive on when you think it's safe. So in that case, too much clutch, not enough gas. So you know, just a bit more gas, and keep the bike point half. Good. Add gas. But there's no gas there. Your clutch was better this time. Do you see there was no extra gas? So the gas is important, like you did the heating hill earlier. Same story there. This is why I want to get you used to pulling in, pulling up, to keep to this side, this side. You can't deal with the chicane too early. Okay, I will pause for that car. Okay, first he's letting you go, first gear, and take the next street left. It's easy to make the mistakes, you see. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna pull up just here. It's quite busy there. If you pull up just here for me on the left. Okay, we'll stop there for a moment. And brake. Good. Okay, relax for a minute. Relax for a minute now. Okay, so that would be typically what our test is.
Yeah.
Okay, we put it short, maybe about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The independent part wasn't really there. And you know, so you see they make you do one maneuver and you get a couple of control stops, maybe 2 or 3. And that can vary, it could be uphill, downhill, behind the car, etc. And it was a short route, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, how did you feel about that?
Alright. Yeah, it's alright, yeah.
Okay, so just a couple of important pointers, you know, like the chicanes there, I know you were going to deal with it, but if you deal with it too early, you're on the wrong side of the road, they would definitely fail you for that.
Yeah.
And you know, other traffic, I mean, he was good enough to let us go, because on that particular one there is no priority, there's no arrow signs. Yeah. Also, couple of places on the bigger roads, you know, we've kept the clutch down, it makes the car go faster, so we need to work a little bit on the gears and the control of keeping the clutch, or selecting the appropriate gear for the turn, and then going around that turn, you know, nice and easily. And you got some of the signs there, so when they tell you, you know, if they ask you to turn left or right, do that, and if we don't say anything, continue ahead, unless signs tell you otherwise. That was a clear sample of that. You had the no entry sign there, they wouldn't give you a direction there, they would actually see how you're going to deal with it, you dealt with it, okay. But we are on the prompt, you know, level, so it's not independent, so you did okay, considering we had a couple of weeks as well, and we're going to be practicing it a little bit more. We'll bring in the independent part on the next one, and we'll choose a different maneuver. And we need to work a little bit more on the push and pull. That will help you turn a little bit more.
I just do my own.
Yeah, I know. So we just want to have that, it'll help you on the turns. Hill starts, you're not too bad, although there when we moved off you did stall. So don't, you know, add the gas, take your time with the bike, keep the bike where it is, add the extra revs, and then just inch the clutch a little bit and give it some time, a good yard or so. Often when you're moving your body to the blind spot, people, you know, they lift their feet more, and before they realize they're lifting the clutch too much and the gas is on. The hill start gradient is different. Okay, more practice anyway will make it better. Yeah. Okay folks, that's all for this video today. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like and subscribe and switch on the notifications for the next videos. Thanks for watching.